What is up, bros and broettes? I'm Inkslasher, and today we are talking about supply drops. And I know everyone and their sister has talked about supply drops on YouTube, and specifically supply drops in Call of Duty World War II, but today we're taking a little bit of a different take on it. Today we're going to be specifically talking about why supply drops in their current form are actually bad, really bad for Call of Duty. And I'm going to explain all of that, but at the same time, I'm also going to explain a reason why supply drops can actually be good for the game and add actual value. And no one's talking about the comparison between those two things, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. And today we talk about supply drops. So why are we talking about this today? Well, about a week ago, XJaws, a guy who used to be one of the biggest guys in the Call of Duty community, got his hands on Call of Duty World War II, played it, and realized that there was only 10 weapons in that build. Now, he tweeted at Michael Condrey asking, is there going to be more than 10 weapons in the game? And he said multiples of. So immediately, people started thinking, well, this means that there is going to be weapon variants. And if you ask me, that's jumping the gun a little bit. I truly believe that he just meant there's going to be multiple different weapons added into the game on top of the current 10 that were in the recent build. However, let me explain to you why weapon variants are one of the worst things for a Call of Duty game. So in every single one of these videos I'm watching about supply drops, all of them are saying, first of all, supply drops are bad, and second of all, weapon variants are bad. I disagree. I think neither of them are bad. What is bad is the fact that you can actually pay for these things and get better items that actually improve the way you play the game. For example, if you look back at Advanced Warfare, there were weapons like the Bal Obsidian Steed and the ASM-1 Speakeasy that were just way better, way better than the weapons that you originally had. So you could literally come into the game, come into Advanced Warfare, pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and have better weapons than people who have been playing the game for hundreds and hundreds of hours. So money simply outbeat playtime. And if we go back through the history of Call of Duty, the way to unlock the better weapons, the higher tier weapons, the weapons that you were going to do better with, was to play the game, level up, and unlock these better weapons. As soon as supply drops were entered into the game, the way of getting these better weapons was no longer leveling yourself up and getting these better weapons, it was paying money and getting these better weapons. So nowhere in there have I said supply drops are bad or weapon variants are bad. What's bad is that you can pay money and get better weapons. It's that it's pay to win. That is the problem, not the supply drops and not the weapons themselves. It's that you can pay money and get better things. Pay to win is simply bad for video games. In fact, it's bad for any sort of game. Let me give you a little bit of a story to back up what I'm saying here. Way back in the day, in what I believe when I was in grade 2 or 3, at school we used to play a game called Beyblades. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what this is, it was basically a game where you had spinning tops that you put into an arena, and you could knock other people's tops out of the arena or just stop them from spinning, and the top that was spinning the longest would win. And basically you could buy these things at the store. They were all around the same price. Basically they were small bits of metal, a little bit of plastic, and they were all pretty fair. There were certain things you could use, switch out certain pieces, make them a little bit better, but all in all, if you were to spend $20 on these things, everyone would have a pretty fair chance of winning. Then my one friend goes away to Singapore with his dad, and when they're in Singapore, his dad decides to take him to a toy store, and in this toy store, they had Beyblades there, really expensive Beyblades, like we were talking $150 for a Beyblade, and they bought one. Now, this Beyblade was special because it didn't have any plastic on it whatsoever. It was just one giant metal spinning top. He comes back to school and just wants to show off his Beyblade. Doesn't tell us how much he spent on it, doesn't tell us why it's so good, it just says he wants to play with us. So we pull out the arena, pull the cord, start playing Beyblades, and guess what happens? 3 Beyblades go into the arena, and 2 of the Beyblades simply break. Torn apart, the metal Beyblade literally breaks them apart. And we're like, oh, well, I guess we lose. And then he gets talking and telling us about how he went to Singapore and how his dad bought him this $150 Beyblade that is just very clearly way the hell better than ours. Guess what happened? We never played Beyblades again at school. Why? Because we didn't have Beyblades because they were broken? No, we had plenty more. We bought them at Toys R Us. We had multiples of these things. But all of a sudden, there was this mentality that if I had $150, and keep in mind, when you're in grade 2 or 3, $150 $100 is a ton of money to you. If I had all of this money, you could just go to Singapore and buy this thing. That's what would make me the best. Not the fact that maybe I could spin it a certain way and make it spin faster, or maybe I could find a certain combination of parts that makes it better. No, all it was is if I had more money, I could be the best at this. And that took all of the fun away from the game. And I think that's part of the problem with Call of Duty. Back in the day, being good at Call of Duty meant a couple of things. It meant that you had the best gun skill. It meant that you knew how to navigate the maps best. It meant that you were actually good at something. And in recent Call of Duty games, especially Infinite Warfare and especially Advanced Warfare, it just seems like whoever spends the most money on these supply drops is actually going to be the person who is the best at the game. Now, why didn't I bring up Black Ops 3? That's a good question. Now, Black Ops 3 had a little bit different of a system. They didn't have weapon variants, but they did have supply drops. And basically, what they did is they had a ton of cosmetic items in these supply drops, but then they also put in certain ranged weapons that had different stats. And for the most part, these weapons are pretty balanced. However, there is a couple of weapons that are just hands and feet above these other weapons. For example, a couple of days ago, we did a versus episode with the M16 and the XR2, two weapons that are extremely similar. However, the M16 is just way better than the XR2, a weapon that before was a pretty good weapon. So this kind of makes this pay to win attitude, and I do think that there can be weapons put into supply drops that are balanced, but there has to be a couple things done. First of all, it has to be possible for you to earn these weapons outright. For example, a game, Modern Warfare Remastered, did supply drops very well. In fact, in that game, when they released supply drop weapons, it wasn't very difficult whatsoever to actually just play the game and earn these weapons. It wasn't necessary for you to spend money to be better than people. All you had to do is play the game a little bit longer, grind out some keys, and all of a sudden, you could have the exact same weapons as a person that spent hundreds of dollars. It wasn't necessary to pay the money to actually have these weapons. Now, going back to Black Ops 3, the reason why I say this is because in Black Ops 3, there is no actual way to earn these weapons. It's all RNG. It's complete luck whether or not you're actually going to get these weapons out of supply drop. For example, for the longest time, I have been opening rare supply drops. Rare supply drop after rare supply drop after rare supply drop. A couple of weeks ago, I was streaming over on Twitch, which my link for my Twitch is down in the description, and this is what happened. So, we'll start off with the 6-pack. Here we go. So I would love to see an AK-74U, PPSH, or actually the PPSH I picked up and I didn't love it. Ooh, starting off with an epic. So if you picked legendary or rare, nope, nobody picked rare. Legendary, you're done. All right, we got 5 left in a 6-pack. How you do? Fantastic. Ooh, that's a 74U. Did I not call it? Did I not call it? Holy shit. Holy shit. We got the 74U. So we got the 74U. That's hype as shit. Alright, let's finish this. Give me the M16 now.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Okay, that's not an M16. That is... Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? So out of a 6-pack, 6 common supply drops, spending 45 crypto keys, I got 2 supply drop weapons, the M16 and the 74U. And it's all complete luck. I didn't use rare supply drops, it was just complete luck. And because the system was based off of almost complete luck, I felt almost cheated that I even got these weapons in the first place. And that shouldn't be the way you feel when you get brand new weapons, something that makes the game fresh and exciting. And what I said earlier is that I do believe that there is a spot in this game for supply drops, even if it's not cosmetic items only. Personally, I would like if it was cosmetic items only, something kind of along the lines of Overwatch. And I know Activision and Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, they're all companies, they need to make their money. But the thing is I feel like more people would be perceptive of the game if they would just make it cosmetic items only, something along the lines of Overwatch, because in Overwatch, people are still buying these loot boxes trying to get these cool skins. They don't change the way the game is played in any way, but they change the way your character looks, and people do tend to like that thing. Look at CSGO, for example. People spend millions and millions of dollars on skins for their weapons, and yet there's no items that actually change the way you play the game. But let's say Activision still doesn't want to listen. Let's say Sledgehammer still needs to put weapons in their supply drops. Preferably, I'd enjoy if they did it the way Modern Warfare Remastered did it, and you don't have to play hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of hours of the game to unlock all of the weapons. For example, in Infinite Warfare, to get all of the weapon variants and all of the items, you literally have to play over 600 hours of the game to actually even get a chance to unlock every single item in the game, and I simply don't think that's okay. I think a casual player that plays a few hours a night should be able to eventually unlock every single item in the game if they play long enough, if they play well enough, and that kind of thing. But this isn't up to me, and if you think I'm wrong, feel free to let me know down in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like rating. But if you enjoyed the video and want to see more things like this, you can check out my channel and hit that subscribe button, as I upload new Call of Duty videos every single day of the week, guys. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and until next time, peace out.